So the AYN Thor is out, and it's glorious, obviously. 2 screens is just awesome. And you've likely heard about playing Steam games on these types of devices. But if you're like me, none of those have really interested you because you have a PC handheld, and so why would I play it on anything other than a PC handheld? But then I was like, well, there's probably a ton of games that will play really good here, and as long as they don't cause my fan to sound like a 747, doesn't cause my device to heat up to cook some eggs, and they work right out of the box without having to change any settings, then I might be in. And so today's video is what games check those specific boxes. First up, we need to install GameHub, and there's 2 different ways. It is apparently now on the Google Play Store, so that is the easiest way, and it's what I would suggest. Or you can go to their weird website, which comes with a bunch of warnings and such, and you can install it through there. Once you boot it up, just make an account, and then let's scroll over to the My tab, and then to the Steam icon, and we can log in with your Steam account. Once you do, you're going to see all of your games, and unfortunately, there is no way to filter them right now. Just tap and install whatever you want. And then again, for today's video, I am just going to focus on the stuff that works without changing any settings. There are a lot more games than the ones I'm going to show today that play just fine. But again, I don't want to have a very hot device and I don't want to hear the fan going at max speed. So we're doing something different. I would suggest sticking to 120Hz mode on the Thor. Yeah, some games won't run at 120, but you get the benefits of the increased response time either way, and it is significantly noticeable. Long story short, you should pretty much always be at 120, except for dual screen games. I've also kept it on performance mode with the fan on smart, and I did a per app setting here to do that. Now in game, there is 3 things you can do. Go ahead and push the back button on the Thor and head over to performance. Force enable native rendering plus, and if you want, turn off or extend the frame limit to 120. The frame limit thing is going to be a personal preference type thing. I'm going to stick to 60 for this video just to keep the temps down and all of that. But you could even go lower than 60 for some games if you wanted to get it even lower. It is all up to you on what you want to do. Lastly, I like to turn on super resolution since we have 720p content being rendered to a 1080p display, and this helps make it a lot less noticeable. Unfortunately, you will have to do all of these in-game settings for every single game, but they do save each time you do it for the single game, so you don't have to keep doing it every time. Alright, so it's time now. Let's go ahead and check out some games that work well. First up is Baba Is You, and this is a puzzle-based game that obviously is more pixel-based. There isn't a lot going on here, but it is super fun. If you love puzzles and you like strategy, that type of thing, you want to play Baba Is You, and this game runs perfectly here. Next up is Balatro, and yeah, I think everybody at this point knows Balatro. It is available on pretty much anything. You can play it anywhere you want, obviously, but why not just play it here? You get your full Steam Balatro saves, all of that, and you don't have to worry about having different saves depending on where you go and all of that sort of thing. So Balatro plays pretty good here, and you have lots of overhead and everything, so play it here. Ball Pit is up next, and this game has been taking off a lot of hours of my time, and it's just super fun. This is a newer game, just came out a few months ago, and you just have a brick breaker type scenario with Ball Pit, and it runs really well here. There are some settings that you should change in-game, like lowering the graphic settings and then changing it from pixel to the high res, I think it's called, to get it to not look so blurry and all of that. But once you do, yeah, this game looks really good. It plays really well. It does heat up a little bit more than some other games, but nothing crazy. It was perfectly fine to play. Blasphemous is a Metroidvania type Bloodborne sort of game where you're just going to go through in like a Dead Cells sort of scenario and explore, kill monsters, all that sort of thing. Blasphemous has been around for a while. There is a Blasphemous 2 that I do not have, but I do have Blasphemous 1, and this plays really well. So if you like Metroidvanias and you haven't tried it, you should. It plays great here. Celeste is up next, and I think a lot of us are familiar enough with Celeste at this point, but it is the quintessential platforming type game, and it gets difficult as you go on, but the game itself runs perfectly well here. You're not going to hear any fans. You're not going to have any temperature issues, all of that. So it's one of those good games that you could play here and just spend hours on without having to worry. Dave the Diver is up next, and this is on the bubble. It does get a little bit hot. It does make the fans go a little bit more noisy. So it's a bubble game. It is going to be up to you, but I think it plays great. I think it looks great. I think there's no issues here for me personally, but going by my definition at the start of the video, it wouldn't really be there. It is a bubble game. It will sometimes be there. It sometimes won't be. Dave the Diver, if you haven't played it, is a very fun game. You play as Dave, who dives and gets fish for his sushi shop that he co-owns with a samurai. That it's not a samurai, but there's a lot going on here. Dave the Diver is fun. Dead Cells probably needs no introduction as well, and there's a lot of ways that you can play Dead Cells. You can do it through Android, through Switch, whatever you want, but here on Steam is the best way that you can play Dead Cells. And so having this available to you, and it runs great, it's not heating up anything, doesn't feel hot, anything like that, this is probably the best way to play Dead Cells on an Android device. Dispatch is also another game that is on the bubble. It can get warm, it can make a little bit more noise, but this is a superhero Walking Dead Telltale style visual novel style game. Basically, if you are at all familiar with the Telltale games, like The Walking Dead and Tales from the Borderlands and all of that, this is that, except it's superhero comedy. And it is so good. The voice acting, the visuals, all of it. I am having an absolute blast with this game. It's going to go down as one of my favorites this year. Fatal 12 is up next, and this is a visual novel style game, and it's a killing game. So if you like Danganronpa, if you like Raging Loop, if you like, I don't even know, the 999 series, all of that, then you want to try out Fatal 12. It is just another story. The only issue here that I've seen is the text can be a little bit small, and I haven't really dug into the settings to see if I can make them a little bit bigger, but otherwise, Fatal 12, visual novel, you can lower some frame limit if you want and have an enjoyable time playing this. Hades 2 is up next, and that just came out a few months ago, and this plays fantastic here. Hades 2, like Hades 1, both play great, and so if you want to just continue with the Hades 2 franchise, or Hades franchise, you can play a lot of it here. If you have not played Hades before, I don't know how to explain it. It is kind of like a Metroidvania roguelike, sort of. Maybe not Metroidvania, but it is a roguelike. You just go through different areas, you kill a bunch of monsters, you have bosses, all of that, and you make your way up a tower, or away from hell, kind of, to the surface. There's a lot going on. If you have not played Hades or Hades 2 and this looks good, you should try it. Into the Breach is an awesome game. This is a tactical RPG, strategy RPG, tactical RPG, whatever you want to call it. And it is puzzle-based, so you basically make moves based off of what your enemy is going to do. So you see into the future, you see what they're going to do, and then you have to act accordingly. And it's very challenging, it's very fun. It is an older game, but super fun. If you have not played Into the Breach, I suggest it, especially if you like puzzles or strategy games. It's very fun. Megabonk is a newer game, just came out probably a few months ago again. I'm going to keep saying that, but I'm thinking months and weeks. It wasn't that long. Anyways, Megabonk is Vampire Survivors if it was 3D. So if you like that idea, that is exactly what this is. And that isn't reductive. Vampire Survivors is great, and so is Megabonk. So play both. But yeah, if you wanted a 3D Vampire Survivors, Megabonk is what you want. I don't have my actual save for Moonlighter for some reason, but Moonlighter seems to play really good here. Moonlighter is a game where you go dungeon delving and you get all of your equipment and things that you sell at your store. So there's two different games in here. There is the action-packed dungeon exploring type game, and then there's the selling of your items type game. And both of them are really fun. Moonlighter is one of my favorite games that I've played as an indie, and I suggest it a lot. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound seems to run really well here. I have not gotten far into this just yet. I just picked it up in the last week, and so I plan on spending a lot of time with this. But if you are at all familiar with The Messenger, this very much feels like The Messenger 2.0. And so this is super fun. It's action-packed. You're basically going side to side. It feels like an older game that has been remade for modern. So if that interests you, then Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is exactly what you want. Recettear, which I'm pretty sure I'm not saying right, is a game that is very old, and you do have to go into the GameHub settings and you want to set the resolution to 1024 by 768, but it is a game where you have a shop and you sell things. And so it is like Moonlighter in that way, but a little bit different, and is a lot older. I don't know if a lot of people are going to know about this game, and so that's why I wanted it on this list, because it's just fun. And it's one of the rare games where you get to just have your own store and sell things. And so it's very rare in that way. And it has the line, capitalism ho, which, yeah, capitalism ho, why not? Sea of Stars is another game that is on the bubble, which means that it can get a little bit warm in some scenes, but then some other scenes it is perfectly fine. It can get the fan noise up, all of that. I would consider it perfect enough to play, but if you are somebody who's maybe susceptible to heat and all of that, then it may not be the best choice for you. But Sea of Stars is awesome. This is turn-based RPG set in the style of an older game that's been kind of upgraded for graphics and all of that. There's a lot that I can talk about with Sea of Stars. It is very fun. I have gotten halfway through. I have somehow lost my save because I played it on Xbox Game Pass and I didn't transfer my save, so I have to start all over on Steam. But I'm looking forward to it because it was very fun and I need to finish this. Slay the Spire is a card game where you deal damage with cards and you do other things with cards and you make your way up a tower. I'm going to keep saying tower, but you make your way up a map by doing all sorts of things. So it is very roguelike in that way. It is a roguelike card battler type game. And I'm sure a lot of people are aware of it, so we'll talk about the next game, but it seems to run just fine here. Stardew Valley probably needs no introduction here, and I'm also curious to know if you can use mods with GameHub. So if anybody knows in the comments, let me know if you can do mods with GameHub, because that would help make Stardew Valley on GameHub one of the quintessential ways to play it for Android, because it's a little bit harder on some other systems like Switch and all of that, because you want mods, and all of the mods are on PC. Now, a lot of people know what Stardew Valley is. If you don't, it is a farming simulation game, and one of the best indie games of all time. We talked about the Messenger earlier before when we looked at Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, and so you can see it here and how it looks. And yeah, the Messenger, super fun. There are some secrets and twists in this game that I'm not going to spoil for you. But if you want a game that is just a platformer, side-to-side adventure, like an older retro game, the Messenger is what you want. And it is pretty cheap and it is super fun. Last game on today's list is Vampire Survivors, which again probably needs no introduction, but Vampire Survivors is super great. You traverse a map, there are enemies constantly coming towards you, you get upgrades for spells and weapons and all of that, and you just make your way through different maps and you keep upgrading, getting different characters and all of that. If you like Megabonk, you'll like Vampire Survivors. If you like Vampire Survivors, you'll like Megabonk. They go hand in hand. And that's it. That is my list of 20 light Steam games that can play on your AYN Thor without making it feel like you're holding the power of the sun in your hands or having to hear a 747. I am interested. Let me know in the comments below what other games you have found that maybe meet this criteria, and we could probably help getting a lot of people check the comments to see if there's other ideas for you. Don't forget to like and sub to help the channel grow. Come join me on the Discord to talk all about handhelds. Support me through YouTube membership if you like my stuff. And hope you all have a good one.